So you want to own a publishing company. Here are 3 things that you might want to know before you go into it. Hey y'all, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad we can hang out again today. Today I wanted to share a few things that I have gathered about owning a publishing company. In case you didn't know, I am the co-owner of a publishing company called The Order of the Pen Press, and I publish these books through them. And over the about year and a half that this company has been in business, I've learned a few things about what it means to own a publishing company versus just being an author. And I thought I would share those with you today because I feel like it would be really helpful in case you're interested in starting your own business, especially if it's a publishing company, because I think these might be things that would be helpful to know before going in, because I don't want anybody to be blindsided should they choose to do this type of thing, because I feel like these 3 things would be very helpful in preparing to yourself to start a business. So let's get into them. Number 1, know that you will be wearing many hats. You will not just be an author, you will be a manager, you will be a marketer, you will be a finance analyst, you'll be an inventory manager, you will be a salesperson, you will be a vendor, you'll be lots and lots of things. And it can be a little bit daunting if your specialty is writing and you were not prepared to be any of those other things. That is not to say you can't and that you won't, but just remember that you will be wearing other hats, and that it is totally cool. And that don't be overwhelmed with that, because that is part of the business, is knowing that you need to wear multiple hats. There are days where I barely touch writing because I am working on marketing, or I'm working on managing, or doing inventory, or I'm selling books, or any number of things that don't pertain necessarily directly to writing. They pertain to the selling of books and other things like that. Some days we're gonna have to deal with taxes, which stinks. That's like one of my least favorite things, is tax season, which we are upon. So thankfully Helena takes most of that, but that is something that we have to do, is pay taxes and file those and make sure they're all done correctly. And make sure we have all of the paperwork together that we need to make that happen legally. And so remember, you will be wearing multiple hats. Number 2, always keep your why in mind. This is the thing that helps you start your business. This is the thing that helps you continue your business. There will be times where you are maybe discouraged or overwhelmed or tired or whatever, and knowing what your why is, why you decided to start a business versus just being an author, is really helpful in pushing through those moments of discouragement or exhaustion or whatever. So keep your why in mind. Whatever it is that made you decide to start a business, keep that in your mind, and don't forget it when those moments come up, because they will come up. There'll be days where you're like, I don't feel like doing any of this. This is nonsense. All I wanted to do was write books. That's it. That's all I wanted. Why am I doing this? Have your answer to your why. Why are you doing this? And always remind yourself of that, so that you continue to push through, to continue to push to grow your business, because otherwise you'll just be like, meh, I'm just going to go back to writing books. And that's fine. If that's your goal, that is totally fine. But if you want a business, you got to remember why you want that business. And lastly, number 3 is be realistic. A lot of times people, when they're going into business, they are not realistic with what they are able to do, what their weaknesses are, any of those types of things. They are not realistic in the slightest. And that is a problem because when you go into a business, you need to know realistically what to expect. And so this is where coming up with a business plan, an actual proper business plan, is really helpful, because you are forced to take a look at your weaknesses and find ways to overcome them and not let them be a deterrent. So for instance, the Order of the Pen Press, we are a very small business. We only have 2 members currently, whereas a lot of publishing companies have lots of people. They have lots of product. They have marketers, specialists in marketing, finance, all of that. They have those. Whereas we are two people, we have to be all those things ourselves. And so we have to be prepared to acknowledge, yes, we are going to have some shortcomings in comparison to like the bigger names, and that is totally okay. But how are we going to overcome them? What are we going to do to help ourselves improve so that maybe someday we will be able to hire people on that can take care of those types of things? What are some things that we can do to improve on our weaknesses and make those better? So it's important to make sure you're not just focusing on all the awesome stuff that you can do, but also some of the things that maybe you're not so good at, and find ways to learn skills that you need, ways to overcome those weaknesses. Remember that. And also remember to make realistic business decisions. A lot of times people just go flying into all the unique opportunities and stuff, and they're just so excited and all that, and that's great. But a lot of exciting opportunities cost money, and you might not be made of cash right away. And you need to make sure you make smart business decisions, especially when it comes to making money or spending money, because you're not made of cash. And it's sometimes difficult at first to turn things down, but knowing when it is a wise business decision and when it is not is super important in making sure that you are going to grow your business in a decent way. And yeah, so make sure you're making smart, realistic business decisions. There have been some times where you know, we had to say, like when we first came out with Ships, Secrets, and Survivors, you know, we wanted character art for pre-order incentives, but at the time we couldn't afford it because we were just starting out. We didn't have a whole lot of money to put towards it. So we said, you know what, we're just not going to be able to do that now. But when Rogues, Royals, and Raiding Rook came out, we were able to afford character art, which was super exciting, and you know, we were able to afford it at that point. So remember what you can and cannot afford. Make sure you're making decisions based off of those types of barriers, and make sure that you are making smart choices in what you can and cannot do. And lastly, figure out some realistic milestones to help you continue to make improvements in your business. What are some things that you can strive for to show that you are making marked improvement? These can be, you know, maybe you sold X amount of books, or you went to X amount of events and signed books or whatever, or you have published a certain amount of books, or whatever it is. Have some milestones in mind to help you feel like you are achieving something, and something that you can strive for every single day. Because again, knowing why you are in it when things get tough helps you get through those tough times. So remember those types of things. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. If you have any additional things that you have learned in case you are a business owner, please leave them down below, and let's share all of our tips and wisdom down with everybody. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you'd like to connect with me elsewhere, I will leave the links to my social media down below. And I hope we can hang out again sometime soon. But until then, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye!